It's 8:30. Good morning. I'm Ian Crouch with Hunter News. A man is due to front court today accused of assaulting an off-duty police officer at East Maitland last night. The detective senior constable was walking his dog along Park Street just before 8 o'clock when it's alleged he saw a car being driven at high speed, which then skidded sideways into a corner and took off before returning and stopping in the street. The officer yelled out to the 32-year-old man who allegedly crossed the street and threatened the victim before throwing a punch, with the pair becoming involved in a violent struggle as the detective's partner called for help. Police arrived and arrested the man. He's been refused bail on 7 charges, including assault police, negligent driving and driving under the influence of alcohol. The detective suffered minor injuries and is expected to return to work today. It's hoped the Hunter will benefit from plans to fast-track billions of dollars in transport infrastructure spending. Almost $4 billion of planned infrastructure spending will be brought forward to help stimulate the economy. Each state and territory has been asked to identify projects which can be fast-tracked. It's hoped the M1 extension to Raymond Terrace and major upgrades to the New England Highway between Newcastle and Tenterfield will be included. Prime Minister Scott Morrison has told Seven most of the money will be spent this year and next.
The light rail down on the Gold Coast, or the M1 here in Queensland, Tonkin Highway over in Western Australia, or down in New South Wales and the Princes Highway, or the Monash in Melbourne. All of these projects that will provide important extra support to the economy through jobs.
Admin and support staff from the Catholic schools offices in the Hunter are walking off the job today. They're calling for better pay and conditions and a new enterprise agreement over 3 years. The Newcastle and Maitland Catholic Diocese says it has no issue with including these staff in an enterprise agreement, but is concerned about how this will play out under a planned restructure. Classes won't be affected by today's strike. Cessnock MP Clayton Barr is criticising the government for assuming everyone has access to online services. The state government is encouraging more people to engage with services online, which Labor says deprives and restricts multiple groups across the state. Clayton Barr says many in his electorate don't have the means to go digital.
The reality is that in our population we have significant numbers of people who are elderly and or low incomes and or non-English speaking. Now, those 3 groups of people are the least likely to be able to access government services online, but they're possibly the most likely to need government services.
There's been an alarming rise in the number of assaults in the classroom at Hunter schools. 37 incidents have been recorded so far this year in schools around Cessnock, 34 on the western side of Lake Macquarie and 32 in the Maitland area. Meanwhile, the Daily Telegraph reports the Hunter New England region had the highest number of kindergarten students suspended. 141 children were sent home for violent or disobedient behaviour. Hunter residents will come together in white clothing this morning to walk for an important cause. Cessnock Walks Kawama is an initiative of the local Domestic and Family Violence Network, aiming to raise awareness about increased rates of violence across the region. Chairperson Sonia Sharp says she's hoping to see a big turnout.
We've had 2 big donations come our way to help run this event, Hunter New England and Central Coast Primary Health Network, as well as the Cessnock Place Plan project, which is a part of Department of Community and Justice. We also have a dedicated committee from all different services that have come together to make this event happen.
The walk begins on Castle Main Street at 10 a.m.
2NURFM Sport.
The Newcastle Knights are welcoming a new era under experienced and premiership-winning coach Adam O'Brien. Captain Mitchell Pearce credits the squad's confidence in O'Brien to his professionalism and understanding of a winning culture. He says the first 2 weeks have been really tough but also really enjoyable and is excited for the squad's future. Meanwhile, 19-year-old rookie Phoenix Crossland is on the rise with the Knights. Crossland has only played 1 NRL game against the Warriors last season but is working with O'Brien and aiming high for the number 6 jumper. New South Wales under-18s coach Mark O'Mealy believes Crossland is a fluid half and would complement players like Pearce. And Newcastle para-triathlete Lauren Parker is working towards her first Paralympic campaign in 2020. After gaining the Sport New South Wales Athlete of the Year with a disability for the second time, the 30-year-old is preparing for a big season ahead. Parker says a lot has been happening over the last couple of years and thanks to the support team around her. And the winning numbers in Oz Lotto are 21, 40, 8, 23, 5, 39 and 38, and the supplementaries are 17 and 16. 2NURFM News Time, 26 to 9.